President Trump is taking fire from all sides as he continues to reassure the country that he won't stop fighting.
We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning.
The attacks didn't stop Trump from being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, which Trump earned, unlike President Obama. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's faction of power-hungry New World Order goons is wargaming how to take power even if Trump is reelected. As Jamie White reports, a far-left coalition wargamed several post-election apocalyptic scenarios in case Democrat candidate Joe Biden lost to President Trump, predicting that Infowars would get involved by doxing Joe Biden electors and linking 88 of these electors to George Soros and 14 to child sex trafficking. In a bizarre piece by the Daily Beast entitled "The Left Secretly Preps for MAGA Violence After Election Day," a group called the Fight Back Table analyzed different election scenarios that draw from the Transition Integrity Project's white paper outlining different election scenarios that included several blue states seceding from America and bringing violence to the streets should Trump win.
It's an organization that emerged at the end of last year that pretends to be a bipartisan group interested in making sure the election is free and fair, but it's run by George Soros and the Open Society Institute, and it's partnered with a group linked with the Chinese Communist Party, the Bagruan Institute.
One source familiar with the Democracy Defense Nerve Center operation said some of the hurdles were straightforward: how you occupy, hold space, and shut things down, not just on election day, but for weeks.
Some people expected there to be an answer to who won the election on election night. I don't think we're necessarily going to get that. And I think it's important that we start preparing people now, that there's nothing illegitimate about taking a few extra days or even weeks in order to make sure that all the votes get counted. In fact, it would be illegitimate if we didn't make sure that all of the ballot votes were counted.
I think that this is important because there is, unfortunately, I think, a heightened risk of civil unrest in the period, between voting and a result being called or after that. And I just think that we need to be doing everything that we can to reduce the chances of violence or civil unrest in the wake of this election.
If that were to happen, would Facebook be blamed in part?
Others are more complicated, like what quick transportation options can be in place should poll locations mysteriously close, while others have been simply impossible to plan out, the Daily Beast continued. But hardball tactics would bring more aggressive responses from the right, the Beast reported. The simulation for a narrow Biden win saw a scenario in which Infowars published a list of addresses, phone numbers, and other personal information of electors pledged to vote for Joe Biden. Of course, Infowars wouldn't publish anything without having evidence to support it. And why would exposing child trafficking be a bad thing?
You are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there.
All of this as professional sleazeball Michael Cohen, who is on house arrest due to tax evasion and campaign violations, attempts to tarnish the president's image.
I described Mr. Trump as a cult leader, and I was in this cult. And while I was in the cult, I was really refusing to acknowledge that the actions that I was performing for my boss were morally wrong.
While Biden continues to double down on his lies, utilizing the Democrat modus operandi that the public is too stupid to know the difference.
They would say that you want to defund the police, and it seems to be trying to frighten some folks. Can you set the record straight on that?
I not only don't want to defund the police, I'm the one calling for $300 million more for local police, for community policing. I also think we should add social workers and psychologists to help police on 911 calls. The only person calling to defund the police is Donald Trump. Look at his budget. He calls for cutting police funding for state and local help by $400 million. Once again, he's pathological.
It's like the military invading. They don't know anybody. They become the enemy. They're supposed to be protecting these people. So my generic point is that...
Do we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes, absolutely.
I never told the environmentalists that I'm going to ban fracking, period, number one. Number two, it's a flat lie. No new fracking.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Well, like what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipe?
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate.
No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. Ends, number one.
With fracking, the shale revolution, and the tremendous surge in American energy production, we're showing that we can create jobs, safeguard the environment, and keep energy prices low for America and low for our citizens. And you see that. You also see it when you pump the gas into your car and you're paying sometimes a lot less than $2 lately, right? So we're doing well. And we have so much of it, I don't know.
John Bowne reporting.